And you're welcome back again to Croke Park. As you join us here, the President of Ireland, Mary McAleese, is here for the big occasion in Leinster Hurling. And as you can see for yourself, meeting teams, or more specifically at the moment, meeting the officials, the referee, and his sidelinesmen for the afternoon. And I think the rain has stopped at the moment, so I'm sure the President will be happy with that. Good crowd here at Croke Park. We were talking about the crowd a little bit earlier on. As you can see for yourself, there is a good crowd here. It looks in a stadium of 80,000 capacity that it isn't such a great crowd, but about 40,000 people plus expected for this Leinster final here today. Big day, of course, for the people of Wexford and for the people of Offaly. The handshakes and the greetings go on. Our panel here this afternoon, Gerald Nan and Cyril Farrell. Do you expect this to be an open cracker of a game, or how is this going to pan out in the opening stages of it, Cyril?
Well, if I was manager over either team, I wouldn't want it to be an open cracker of a game. Last Sunday, everyone's raving about the Munster final. It was a great game to look at, fantastic to look at, beautiful television. To me, the game the night before with Tipperary and Limerick was a far harder game.
Yes.
Now, both sets of backs here will be saying, listen, we're not going to let the forwards open up. Hit them hard and fair it on, put pressure on them, because if they open up, they're capable of scoring. I expect it to be low scoring for a while, because the rain will make it slippy. They'll be all kind of changing the cogs, or they'll have these famous new kind of, the new skater ones as such. Whoever gets on top early on. Now, Wexford will try to make sure that the Offaly forwards don't open up. If they get room, they're lovely hurlers. If not, they'll be in trouble. So Wexford, I would think, will be standing down firmly, especially, say, Dara Ryan and Ruth will be putting their strength in if they can early on.
One thing we have seen, Michael, in this championship, and I'm sure Cyril has spotted as well, since we got rid of this crazy ball that we had last year, which travelled 100 miles when you hit it, since the new ball came back, the half-back line and the half-forward line is the decisive area now in hurling. We saw that last Sunday in the Munster final. In every game this year, we've seen it. Now, Cork had a brilliant full forward line the last Sunday, but in the second half, the ball didn't win to them. Now, both teams today are pinning their hopes on their full forward lines. The ball, whichever team can get that ball to the full forward line. In other words, whichever half forward line wins against the half back line will win this game. That's where the real battle will be fought out today between the respective half backs and half forward lines. Now, Wexford did brilliantly there the last day, but will the same tactics work against Offaly today? I doubt it very much somehow. I doubt if those tactics will work against Offaly, because Offaly have Gary Hannafy there, a big strong man who will catch puck outs even if they're sent very, very long. So I find it hardest of all to make up my mind about this game today. And if we were talking outside before, we said, who do you think will win? It's a toss of a coin.
It is, and I suppose the other thing about it is, as you gentlemen both know very well, you can sit down for all week and all fortnight and you can make your plans and how you're going to play the game, and 10 minutes into it you suddenly realise, hang on a second, this is all different.
A bounce of a ball, Michael, one day going to the right will make it look good. The same bounce next day going to the left will make it look poor. Now, Gerard's on about the half back line, half forward line. Most puck outs in hurling are going to come down into the half forward line. Now, Offaly have Hannafy underneath it. Gareth Hannafy is strong. Rory Hannafy will use his pace. Now, they have Joe Brady out there, who's very, very strong underneath the high ball as well. But even though he's good out there, I expect he might move in full forward. They have strong men under the high ball. Now, Wexford isn't that they're lacking in strength. They wouldn't be as strong under the high ball, and they didn't try to use it against Kilkenny. Now, whether they're going to use the same tactics today or not is another thing, but I don't think they'll get away twice. But David Fitzhenry is quite capable, with a little breeze behind, of bypassing the half-back line and pumping it right into the full forward line. And as Gerald said the last day, Cork full forward line were completely on top. But in the second half, even with the breeze, for whatever reason, they couldn't get the ball in.
Different game, of course. All right, gentlemen, thank you very much for your thoughts. Our commentators on the big match this afternoon are Marty Morrissey and Tomás Mulcahy.
Thank you very much, Michael. Good afternoon and welcome to Croke Park for the Leinster Hurling final of 2004. It's the 30th meeting in the Leinster Championship between Wexford and Offaly, and it's the 7th Leinster final between Offaly and Wexford. Offaly leading by 4 victories to 2. This is the Offaly team that Mike McNamara has developed over the last 2 seasons. Burr's Brian Mullins is now first choice goalkeeper with a defensive formation that sees Ger Oakley at full back, and the only player with a Leinster medal on the team, the legendary Brian Whelan at right half back. The Hannafys and Joe Brady make up the centre forward line, but the most dangerous threesome on the faithful side has to be the full forward line of Brian Carroll, Brendan Murphy and Damien Murray.
Yes, and this is a man that we've seen against Dublin the last day. Got 2-5 for his tally overall, but he's named at full forward today. I expect maybe this man to revert back out to the half-forward position and use the pace and the strength of Rory Hannafy and Gary Hannafy. He's a terrific hurler, great scorer left and right, and I think that maybe the Offaly selectors are looking for his pace around that half-forward line to do the job today.
Having dethroned the Leinster champions Kilkenny, it's no surprise the Wexford manager John Conran has named the same 15 to start the Leinster final. Damien Fitzhenry, Darragh Ryan and Declan Ruth man the key defensive positions, with captain John O'Connor at left half back. Adrian Fenlon and Tomás Mahan form a strong centre field understanding the last day, while the attack is dominated by youthful players with loads of talent like Owen Quigley and the Jacob brothers Michael and Rory.
This is the man that's at the heart of everything that happens with Wexford. I mean, he looks a lot older than he actually is. Seems to be around for a long, long time, but he's played the last day, and over the last 2 or 3 years, it's been fantastic to see. Quick on the movement, quick on the ball, very, very good with direct hurling, and certainly on a surface like Croke Park today, he will be the key man to keep that ball moving into the inside line.
Well, recalling that very first meeting back in 1898 on Jones's Road, it was noteworthy for the fact there was the introduction of the sideline cut for the very first time. Previously, the ball was going into touch, was thrown in by the linesman, and a shot there of Adrian Fenlon. You couldn't get any better to cut a sideline ball than the number 8 from referees. While Offaly are bidding for their 10th title, their first since 1995. Wexford seeking their 20th title, their first since 1997. Word from the dressing room, Tomás, you referred there, ironically enough, that there may be a switch on the Offaly side. Brendan Murphy could well be moved out to wing forward, and Joe Brady, I believe, could be moved to full.
Yes, I mean, I'm sure we've seen over the last number of years that the importance of Darragh Ryan around the full back line for Wexford, and his strength and his power, and certainly they would look at maybe Joe Brady going in there to upset the balance there, and giving Brendan Murphy the opportunity to roam around the half forward line. Remember, Gary Hennessy and Rory Hannafin, 2 huge men, and if the puckets are coming down there and there is breaking ball, the onus will be on Brendan Murphy to go and pick it up and start putting the ball over the bar, as we know he can.
Here in Croke Park on Leinster Hurling final day, we pause for a round of Ian. Quite a changeable day here in Dublin. This morning we had glorious sunshine, and around 2:15, heavy rain that's going to make the ground surface here in Croke Park rather slippy. Here this afternoon we have Her Excellency the President of Ireland, Mary McAleese, accompanied by her husband Dr. Martin McAleese, along with Nicky Brennan, the Chairman of the Leinster Council. The band makes its way underneath the Hogan stand. Ger Harrington from Carrigaline and County Cork starts the Leinster Hurling final. Offaly playing from left to right. Little or no wind here at headquarters. As Brian Whelan sends it down for his captain Gary Hannafin. First touch for Damien Fitzhenry. Watches it all the way. They're confident down in Wexford, but they're apprehensive. The team they're playing, the faithful county, certainly love these kind of situations. Wexford having knocked out Kilkenny and depriving them of a 7th Leinster title in a row.
Absolutely, and I mean, has the makings been a great game. Somebody new today is going to hold the Bob O'Keefe Cup after the match, and that has the makings of being a fantastic game. And as we said from the outset, Joe Brady has gone in at number 14, and Brendan Murphy is taken up on Rory McCarthy over on the left-hand wing.
And it's Rory that's taking the sideline ball. And Joe Brady and Darragh Ryan were spoken to there, sure you spotted, by the match referee. Just keeping an eye on proceedings. Here is centre forward Gary Hannafin. Rory McCarthy switching from one wing to the other. Unable to control it is Tomás Mahan. And that's going to be a sideline ball for Offaly. Going to take it is Michael Cordial from Shinrone. Actually made his championship debut against Wexford last year. Nephew of the great Brendan Keaton, who won an All-Ireland in 81 and 85. Dara Ryan flicking it out. Challenged by Joe Brady. Picking it up here is Rory Hannafy. Bursting aside the challenge of Dara Ryan. Good work by Hannafy. Have we the opening score? 1 minute and 51 seconds played. And Offaly had to work very hard, but credit here the work of the Burr clubman, Rory Hannafy. Long puck out by Damien Fitzhenry. Gathered superbly by Paul Carley. Laying it off. Looking around his own Quigley. Chance to equalise, not availed of. Brian Mullins also, in fact, made his debut against Wexford that afternoon in Kilkenny in Nolan Park. Of course, has 2 All-Ireland club medals with that great club down in Offaly. Burr, beautifully gathered by Owen Quigley, but his pass is a very poor one. There's a chance here for Offaly, and it's sailing over the crossbar, scored brilliantly by Brendan Murphy. Well, this was a gift from Wexford to their contenders Offaly for the Leinster title, and well taken by Murphy.
Oh, well taken by Murphy, and I mean that's what he's good on, the breaking ball. When there's a half chance, he'll pick it up, he'll run at defenders and put it over the bar.
Michael Cordial pulling on. This is Adrian Fenlon. Chasing him is Barry Wheelahan. Dropping this one in. Rory Jacob. Cleared by Niall Claffey. Long ball down for us, David Duck O'Connor. Offaly starting brightly, playing with great confidence. Damien Murray into the space. Chance here for Brian Carroll, and that sails over the bar. 3 points for Offaly by 3 different players.
That's fantastic.
And all from play.
That's a fantastic start, and Offaly are doing to Wexford what Wexford did to Kilkenny the last day. They're spreading the ball out wide, and man on possession out around the middle of the field. He's just turning and hitting it into open space, and there's some great scores to start the game.
Rory Hannafy beaten this time by Adrian Fenlon. Owen Quigley pulling on it. Comes down far as Rory Jacob. Difficult angle, too difficult for the clubman from Ullart-the-Balla. Second wide for Wexford. Brian Mullins, minor goalkeeper in 1998. Took over from Stephen Byrne, who of course was the All-Star goalkeeper in 98. Well pulled on by Gary Hannafy. Into the space. Joe Brady chasing after it, but good covering by Dara Ryan. Referee from Cork indicates that Dara Ryan was fouled. Going to be free out for the Slaney Siders. First free of the afternoon for Wexford.
Yes, but as you see there, Dara Ryan has been pulled away out to the wing altogether, Marty, by Joe Brady, and it's leaving the likes of Brian Carroll and Dale Murray with plenty of space inside. I'm sure Offaly will be hoping to adopt that tactic for most of the day. Get Dara out of the square, because he has been very, very commanding when the high ball is coming in there.
Breaking ball, Michael Cordial. Sending in a fast ball as quickly as possible. It breaks kindly for Offaly here once more. This is Damien Murray facing Damien Fitzhenry. Oh, what a save! What a fantastic save by Fitzhenry. The battle of the Damians. Murray against Fitzhenry, and Fitzhenry comes out on top. Just watch this. The ball broke kindly for Murray. It was 1 against 1, and Fitzhenry leapt to his left, cat-like, depriving Offaly of a certain goal and out for a 65.
Fantastic save, but it has to be a worrying factor for Wexford that Dara had been pulled out again there out of the centre, and who was left inside with Damien Murray all on his own to take on the goalkeeper.
Well, Offaly have started brilliantly, really. They're dominating in most areas of the field. Wexford haven't threatened at all, Tomas.
Just seems to be the own team in it at the moment, Marty.
Colm Cassidy with the 65. This one is going to the left and wide. He scored 3 65s against Laois. He'll be very disappointed with that effort. Damien Fitzhenry in his 11th championship season. Took over from players like Archie Scallon and Ted Morrissey way back in 1993. This is going to be a free for Wexford, just inside the Offaly 45. Mike McNamara, manager of Offaly. This is his second season in a 3-year term, building a team, trying to create a new era for the Offaly hurlers. Barry Lambert's going to take this free. This is straight over the bar. Scored 4 points against Kilkenny, 3 of them frees. Wexford's first point. Linesman at the far side indicates it's going to be a Wexford ball. A little bit of a dispute here. Again on McSivna.
Mr. Dignan seems to know what way is going on. He's fighting for an Offaly ball, and he's correct on this occasion.
Well, the referee, Ger Harrington, was actually a linesman for Adon in that Tipperary Limerick match at the Gaelic Grounds, or Park na Gael as it's now called. Sideline ball going to be taken, far side. Michael Cordial. From the great hurling club, Shinroe. Drives this in towards Joe Brady. Darragh Ryan just gets the touch. Brady gets there as well. Malachi Travers has a bit of a fresh air. Chance for Offaly, taken by Damien Murray, not quite. Offaly's second wide of the game. Puck out. First of what we saw in the semi-final against Kilkenny, where it was a strategy by John Conran, where Fitzhenry's puck outs were aimed deliberately at one player in particular. But it's Offaly that have possession. Rory Hannafy deflecting it onto the path of Joe Brady, but Darragh Ryan gets there first, or at least he should. Master of that area in front of Damien Fitzhenry's goalposts. Barry Tehan is right corner back for Offaly. Cleared momentarily. Sent back in very quickly by Mick Jacob. Brian Mullins has to come off his line. Goalkeeper under a little bit of pressure here. Colin Cassidy happy to drive it anywhere. Ger Oakley. Look how far out Oakley had to come to follow Jacob. Here's a chance now for John O'Connor, the captain. Dropping it in far as Mihal Jordan, or Mix Jordan as he's more affectionately called. Good defending by Offaly. This is David Franks from Ballyskinnock. Down for his centre half back, Niall Claffey. And here come Wexford. They're chasing, they're harassing. They're having to work very hard, it must be said. Barry Lambert with a chance of a point from play this time to equal the one from a free. And that ball is gone wide. Wexford's third wide.
Yeah, and it's a very noticeable feature that their corner forwards and their full forward are playing very, very far out from goal. And that ball that was hit in went straight into Brian Mullins. And he was a good 20 yards off his goal and came out to clear.
Brian Mullins opts for this side of the field in front of the Hogan stand. Picked up by Michael Cordial. He's been very effective so far. Can he match that with a point? Yes, he can. That's a great point by Michael Cordial. Scored a point against Laois, 3 against Dublin. He's a man on form at the moment. Michael Cordial with his first point in the Leinster final. Paul Carley having to go into a left half-back position to try and gather some possession. Good work here by Barry Wheelhead, but the pull just carried a little bit too much strength. Line ball for Wexford.
It's funny, Marty, when you see Ferris going into the game and you say to yourselves, like, Wexford seem to be waiting for somebody to make things happen for them. And Offaly on the other side, going in as underdogs, they're taking the fight to Wexford. And that's what you want in Leinster Championship hurling. It's up to Wexford now to get themselves back into the game quickly. And noticeable there, Gary Hannifey and Rory Hannifey underneath the puckouts. If they're not winning possession, it's breaking. And the Offaly midfielders, Cardley there, we saw him getting the point very, very quick onto the breaking ball.
Just as you mentioned, the two Hannifeys, Tomas. Rory Hannifey is now gone in centre forward. Gary, his brother, on to right half. Brian Wheelahan is back there for the faithful boys. Straight down the middle towards Rory Hannifey. Adrian Fenlon, a little bit of space. It's a little bit indecisive, but it comes as far as Declan Ruth. Barry Wheelahan working hard, comes back for his own Quigley. Under pressure. Scores a fabulous point. They're having to work very, very hard to break down this Offaly defence. This is Owen Quigley scoring his first point in the Leinster final. Owen Quigley given a little bit of space by Niall Claffey. Colm Cassidy. Let's just look at the statistics here. 4 out of 5 for Offaly, 2 out of 6 for Wexford. Interesting statistical information for you. Here come Offaly again, dominating that half-forward line. Brendan Murphy out in the wing, wearing 14, remember, in a positional alteration just before the start of the match. Hannifey's playing very well on the 40. Gary, the captain, sending this one in. Intercepted by Darragh Ryan, given to Doc O'Connor. Sent down far as Barry Lambert, but Offaly again, dominating as well on the half-back line. Brian Wheelahan flicking this in front of the forwards. There's a chance here for Offaly. It's 1 against 1. Thanks to Brendan Murphy, and Fitzhenry saves for the second time. The ball is still loose, and the ball is sent wide. Amazing. First Damien Murray tried, then Brendan Murphy. On each and every occasion, Damien Fitzhenry managed to save. Great goalkeeping.
That's terrific goalkeeping, Marty. Spread his body very, very well. Brendan coming on here looked as if he was going to be hooked if he actually pulled on it, and he kicked it, and great stop by Damien Fitzhenry. Great stop.
Well, Offaly will say they should have at least 1 goal, if not 2, only for the sheer brilliance of Damien Fitzhenry. Fabulous catch by Gary Hannifey. Turns onto his right-hand side. It's floating to the left and wide. 4 wides for Offaly. Referee Ger Harrington is being called into the goalposts, to his umpires down at that end, Bernard Scanlon and Henry O'Mahony. This is Bernard Scanlon, whose father came from East Clare, former St. Flannan's College player. And the referee, having consulted with Bernard Scanlon, is going to give a 65, I think. So it's a 65 for Offaly.
I wonder, Marty, is he giving it against Damien Fitzhenry for going outside the square, taking the puckouts? He just marked the square there as he's taking puckouts, that he actually breached the square and actually come well outside it.
Well, it's 65 for Offaly. Colm Cassidy going to take it. He's tried one already and failed, but remember, he's been quite consistent with these in the earlier rounds. This one is dropping in off the post. It's there again for Offaly, but Wexford get there first. Comes straight out for Gary Hannifey. It's high and it's to the left and wide. 5 wides for Offaly. And the referee has gone in. You're dead on, Tomas Mulcahy. He's indicating to Damien Fitzhenry that he doesn't want the puck out to be taken outside the small rectangle.
Yeah, he's getting a clear indication there now, Marty, and any breach of this, I'm sure he'll be taking the yellow card out at that stage.
Long puck out by Damien Fitzhenry. Comes down first to Moss Mahan. Mossick in for Rory Jacob. Scored the first goal against Kilkenny. Jacob, Mullins gets a touch and it comes, oh, it's a goal for Wexford. Latching onto it and burying it. Wexford are back in business. The run by Rory Jacob. Mullins got a shot to it here. Came out to his brother Michael, and a full forward rattled the back of the Offaly net.
Yes, certainly what Wexford needed now to get them back into the game, and great opportunism by Michael Jacob to score the goal, but bad defensive play by Offaly. They'll be disappointed that they conceded a goal after the goalkeeper making a great stop. The ball should be cleared.
16 minutes 43 seconds played, and Wexford get the goal. They needed something like that to revitalise them, because certainly you'd have to say around the half-back line, midfield and half-forward line, Wexford are dominant.
Yeah, particularly the half-forward line for Offaly has been very, very prominent, and catching great ball from the puck outs and feeding their inside forward very, very well.
Barry Whelan is over there. So too is David Franks. Long ball, Dara Ryan and Joe Brady. Ryan tries to knock it down, and it's Dara that comes along to clear. The famous St. Anne's Club. Adrian Finland, referee has blown his whistle, and he's given a free for a foul on the Offaly man. It's going to be a free just between the 45 and 65 metre line over at that far side in front of the Cusack stand. Funny old game when you consider Offaly had 2 chances and the goalkeeper saved, and 1 chance and it's in the net.
Offaly could be kicking themselves there. They had a few opportunities to get another few points on the board and really put the pressure on Wexford, and then they go down and concede a soft goal.
Damien Murray, and that is over the bar. Level for the first time after 18 minutes in Croke Park. Again, a good puck out by Damien Fitzhenry, but it runs out over the sideline. Sideline ball for Offaly. Well, I mentioned rain earlier, around 2:15. We had heavy rain. We now have the sunshine back and blue skies here over Croke Park. Now Claffey going to take this. Cornerback in 2000. In the last All-Ireland final, that was against Kilkenny. Made his debut in 1999 against Antrim. This is Mossy Mahan from the Rapparees Club in Enniscorthy, County Wexford, dropping this one in. Coming across is Barry Tehan from Coolderry. Chasing after it, Rory Jacob from Owlet the Bala. 2 great clubs, 2 good hurlers. Rory McCarthy with the assistance of Adrian Finlan. But it's a loose ball that's easily gathered by Michael Cordial, who's going for his second point, but that's well wide. Half a dozen points, half a dozen wides now, I should say, for Offaly. And if there is a wind down on the pitch, and just looking at the far side, the wind just slightly seems to be favouring Offaly.
Yeah, and very noticeable the last day against Kilkenny. Fitzhenry's puckouts were going short. They were trying to find men. Offaly have counteracted that. The half forwards are drifting out towards midfield, crowding out that area. There's no sharp ball being given out, so he's up to go long now with the last puckout.
Rory Jacob being fouled here. With him was Barry Tehan, who, according to the referee, committed the foul. Barry Lambert from the St. Martin's Club in Pearstown. Man minding the net for Offaly this season, Brian Mullins. Hits it to the left and wide. 4 wides for Wexford. Going straight down the middle route. Adrian Finlan just not quite connecting with the sliotar Rory McCarthy. Barry Whelan just got a touch. And Offaly, Michael Cordia coming in on the blind side. Tests out Fitzhenry again for the 3rd time. And Fitzhenry is there to save. Oh, wonderful goalkeeping by Damien Fitzhenry. A master craftsman. Pulling on it, his own Quigley. Barry Tehan from Coolderry. Potentially, Offaly could have scored 3 goals in the opening 21 minutes. They have failed to do so because of the brilliance of Duffrey Rovers' Damien Fitzhenry. And Adrian Finlan picked up a knock. In fact, both players have gone down. Barry Whelan being the other player. The referee is going to have a word with Adrian Finlan, and he's noting his name.
He's booking him, Marty, for pushing the hurley into Barry Whelan there at the middle of the park, and he's given the free for Offaly because of that.
So a yellow card for Adrian Finlan. Scored a wonderful point against Kilkenny in the semi-final from that sideline cut. Suffered a bit last year with hamstring difficulties, but very much in form at the moment. As we can see this exchange between Barry Whelan and Adrian Finlan, and both players actually went down afterwards.
Yes, a bit of handbags, as I would call it, and he's given a clash ball now, I think, for a bit of retaliation by Barry Whelan.
Pulled on by Declan Root. Going to be a throw ball, I feel. Linesman this side, just a little bit undecided. John O'Connor, the captain from Rathnewer, driving this up far as Rory Jacob. Switching the direction. Colin Cassidy just getting a touch on the hurley, but not quite gathering it. But being fouled was Mitch Jordan, so a free in front of the post for Wexford. Well, they were expecting the storm, as we would use, and to use the cliche down in Wexford, from Offaly, and they certainly got it. And they've had to survive it and try and get their own rhythm down in Slaney side.
Yeah, they've yet to find their own pattern of play, you know, and as I said, the full forward line coming away out the field. They've got a few frees, and you feel if they can get more possession into that full forward line of Wexford, that there can be a lot more scores coming from. And if they're not getting scores, they're going to get frees, because certainly the full back line of Offaly is a little bit under pressure every time the ball goes in there.
Second point for Barry Lambert from a free. Fine catch. Far side is Paul Carley, who switched wings, by the way, with Barry Lambert, which seems to be par for the course. Brian Mullins has to come off his goal line. It was a good clearance. Knocked down by John O'Connor. Wexford there in numbers now, but the ball given away by the superbly placed Brian Whelan, who always seems to read these situations so well. Damien Murray. Dropping this in, Darragh Ryan has to backpedal just slightly. The foul on the Offaly man, spotted immediately by the referee, Ger Harrington. Some jersey pulling, he's just indicating the reason why. Dead straight in front of the posts. A chance for Offaly to level the match. Damien Chris-Henry wants a few more players. And there's every possibility here that, well, maybe he just might go for a goal. Taps it over the bar, Damien Murray, for his second point. Level for the second time after 24 and a half minutes. Damien Fitzhenry's puck out is a lengthy one again. Adrian Finlan, an easy ball for him. Not quite connected. Rory Hannafy switching it over to this side. Well read by John O'Connor. Good ball. Ger Oakley wants Brian Mullins to come off his goal line, and the goalkeeper obliges. Michael Cordial, the Offaly player, wearing 11 is Gary Hannafy, the captain, working hard here on the right wing, and earns himself a free. This is the incident again. As you can see, the jersey was being pulled. No question about the foul. Brian Whelan, man of the match in 4 All-Ireland finals. Dropping this in. Joe Brady and Darragh Ryan. Brady wins this particular tussle, but just can't hold possession. Darragh Ryan, seemed to be a high challenge on him. Darragh Ryan goes down, and it could well mean a yellow card for Joe Brady for that high challenge on his direct opponent. Yellow card for the left half forward from Kildare. This is the man who captained Offaly Miners to win the Leinster title in 2000. And on that particular occasion, he wore number 6 on his back. Mike McNamara is the man responsible for transferring him into the half-forward line. Barry Tehan gets a touch. Good defending by Offaly. In numbers, but the clearance is poor. David Franks under pressure. Manages to escape the shackles of Mitch Jordan. Sends it down this side. Slippery surface, that rain around 2:15, the problem. Switching it over to the far side, Rory McCarthy. With him is Brendan Murphy. Brendan Murphy seemed to have fouled Rory McCarthy, so it's going to be a free out for Wexford. Interestingly enough, Damien Fitzhenry is coming out as we look at some more statistical information. 53% for Offaly, 47% for Wexford. And I'm sure that statistical information on the Wexford side of the chart has increased over the last 5 or 10 minutes.
Certainly they've come more into the game, and conditions are certainly a lot more difficult than we anticipated at the start because of the weather.
Cross was aimed at Paul Carley. Niall Claffey intercepted. Brian Whelan is there to leave it off, and Offaly survive. Gary Hannafy dropping this one in. Can anybody get a touch? It's 2 against 2. Stalemate. Referee has blown his whistle. And he's going to give, I'm pretty sure, a throw ball. Tense, anxious moments after almost 28 minutes of play in this Leinster final. On the 20-metre line, referee going to throw it in. Trying to make sure that there's only just 2 players involved. Joe Brady of Offaly, Rory McCarthy, and his physique is a vital factor. Pass inside was aimed for Damien Murray, but cut out. Rory McCarthy is there to sweep it out and just clear the danger for just a little while. Brian Whelan seems to be unmarked at the moment. Nobody near him. Dropping this one in. It's 3 against 2 here. If they can work it, there's a chance here for Brendan Murphy. Referee does not give the penalty. Offaly, in fact, he has given a penalty. He seemed to be slow to react, but in fairness to Chair Harrington, he judged the situation and then indicated that it was going to be a semi-penalty.
Yeah, I was just about to say about the conditions. Anybody that's going on with the one hand to pick the ball, and any time there's any chance of a defender alongside him, he's automatically going to go down because it's very, very slippery out there. Got a bit of a push in the back. I mean, you go down, you're going to get your free, and Chair Harrington had no hesitation but awarding that.
Well, Brendan Murphy from Ballyskinnock contested the county final last year against Barr. No doubt about the referee's decision. He's reasserted himself here after a brief consultation with his umpires. And Brendan Murphy happens to be a medical student as well, just doing a little testing himself off camera and now getting into position. It's Damien Fitzhenry on the goal line. A vital moment in the Leinster final. The referee wants the players outside and sufficient distance away from the taker. Damien Murray from Coolderry going to take the semi-penalty. Total score so far in the championship, 18 points. His first goal. Saved brilliantly, absolutely brilliantly by Malachi Travers, and again Damien Fitzhenry.
What a match he's having, Fitzhenry. He's been absolutely fantastic, and only for him we could be going home at half-time because he's saved absolute rascals.
Well, Murray went for it, and Fitzhenry was the one that saved. Malachi Travers finished it off. Offaly, amazingly, have only managed to score 6 points. They could have had 4 goals in this match. Joe Brady is out there. Referee indicates the foul by the Offaly man. It's going to be a free out for Wexford. And once again, it's the Wexford goalkeeper, Damien Fitzhenry, that's coming out. It was the late Christy Keogh actually encouraged Damien to take up the goalkeeping position. As we look at the scoring chances, 6 out of 14 for Offaly, 5 out of 11 for Wexford. Ger Oakley, former midfielder, Now first choice full back for the faithful. Comes back fires Declan Root. Switching play again. Chasing after it is Mitch Jordan. With him is David Franks. Franks from Bellishgannock's jersey being tested, and that's going to be a free for the cornerback. No question about the foul here. Mitch Jordan pulling David Franks. All-Star nominee David Franks taking the free himself. This runs clear. There's a chance here. Hits it and sends it over the bar. Anxious moments in the Wexford cover. And every time the ball drops in, you just feel that only for Damien Fitzhenry, Wexford will be in deep trouble here.
And I suppose you have to credit the Offaly selectors by putting Joe Brady in full forward as well. All he has to do with Martin Sider is break ball against Darragh Ryan, and when it breaks down, Damien Murray, Brian Carroll, they're very, very alert, and that was a fantastic point by Brian Carroll off the ground.
Breaking ball pulled on by Barry Wheelahan. Referee blows his whistle. It's going to be a free for Offaly. The ball was pucked away. More frustration than anything else, and the referee has just noted that, but it's a free for Offaly. One minute of added time. 33 played. Colm Cassidy with the free. Just outside the Wexford 65. Hits it to the right this time and sends it wide. 7 wides for Offaly. And there's a bit of a melee developing here for no apparent reason. And a bit unnecessary as well. This game being played very sporting so far, I must say.
Absolutely, and as the ball went wide, I think there was a bit of a collision between the cornerback and the corner forward at that stage. But I mean, worryingly for Offaly is all the possession that they have, Marty, is they're still only a point ahead of this game. You know, they've had tremendous chances in that first half to put 4 or 5 points daylight between the sides, and they've failed to do that.
Brian Carroll being spoken to here, and his name being put into the book. Looks like a yellow card for the corner forward. And that's all very, very silly, it must be said. A yellow card that certainly Brian Carroll, I'm sure, will regret.
You couldn't say that he was certainly watching too much of Euro 2004, going down for a diving.
Here come Wexford now. They have opportunities, Paul Carlin. Good run by Tomas Mahan. Laying it back for his own Quigley. Good covering, though, must be said, by Offaly. Barry Wheelahan. Again, sending it over this side towards Brian Carroll. Oh, lovely skill. That was great control by Carroll. Now, makes room for himself. Drops this in, but it's gone to the left and wide. But lovely control by the man from Coolderry.
Doing everything right. Great touch into his hand. Watts again, when he goes around his marker, he knows he's going to go over, carry the ball.
It's all in the hands, all in the wrist.
All in the wrist.
Paul Carley working hard, dropping this in. Front of his man is Barry Tehan. Good clearance by the cornerback. Knocking it forward is Doc O'Connor. Picking it up is John O'Connor. No relation. In for his own Quigley. Drives it with all he could muster for his second point. Wonderful score by the St. Martin's Club man. Son of John, nephew of the selector Martin Quigley, continuing on that family tradition, wearing the purple and gold. Level for the third time after 35 minutes of the Leinster final 2004. Referee giving a free to Offaly for some holding. And really, in the overall analysis, Tomas, you'd have to say Offaly should be in front.
Oh, absolutely, and certainly from play and from place balls, they've missed 1 or 2 opportunities from place balls as well, which could prove to be very, very costly at the end of the day.
Well, Wexford, of course, came into this final with the burden of favourites resting on their shoulders. as that free is on target and sent over the bar. Certainly Wexford have been finding it difficult to find their rhythm. Damien Murray has no problem. That's his 3rd point from a free. Referee blows the half-time whistle. A match that was interesting, exciting at times, but no doubt about it, the highlight, absolutely fantastic goalkeeping by Damien Fitzhenry. The Duffrey Rovers clubman has been outstanding between the posts and kept the Wexford boys in the match. Offaly unable to beat him so far, while at the other end Michael Jacob has got the goal after 16.5 minutes to give this scoreline at half-time in Croke Park. Offaly 8 points, Wexford 1-4. Let's go down to the sideline now for some half-time reaction. Our reporter, Jim Carney.
Thank you very much indeed, Marty. We're joined by Liam Dunn, one of the great hurlers of our time, who is not playing here today. We'll talk to Liam in a moment, but Michael Dignan's also joined us. Michael, we'll let you into the dressing room, but we just want to get your opinion on that first half.
Yeah, I thought Offaly played very well. Damien Fitzhenry kept him in the game. With 4, I think, great saves, spine plank saves. We're happy enough, but there's a strong wind and Wexford will have it in the second half. So
just with 70s and long-range frees, you'd be hoping for better with them in the second half.
Brian Whelan will be on them in the second half.
Done. Thank you, Michael. Yeah. Now, Liam, you heard what Michael had to say. Just thinking about your own team, what a man you have in goals.
Yeah, well, I just said there a minute ago, I mean, if we can pull off this Leinster final, there'll be a knighthood for Damien Fitzhenry, maybe 2 All-Stars in December. But I think, in fairness, Damien and Darragh Ryan have really kept Wexford in the game there. I mean, they're playing tremendous stuff. Offaly had 4 goal chances. Wexford got 1 chance and Michael Jacob took it in. But we're a point down, but we're still there, and this is going to go to the wire.
Just briefly, Liam, a word on Darragh Ryan. Offaly put a lot of thought into their tactics. They dragged Darragh Ryan out to the corner there. Were you worried about that?
No, I mean, you could drag Darragh all over the place. Drag him to Galway if you wanted, he'll be there, but he's a great man and he's having a great game. I mean, he's a leader on and off the field, and like I said, himself and Damien are playing marvellous stuff there.
Liam, will it go to the wire?
I think it will. I feel the referee's going to have to let the game flow a bit. There's a lot of frees in the game, which is stopping it. You know, if it's down in Munster final, it's thick and tough, but you know, hopefully now the boys will pull it out of it.
Okay, thank you, Liam. Great to see you here. Well done. And with that, we hand back.
Thanks, Jim Carney. Good points indeed from Liam Dunn and from Michael Dignan about what happened in the first half. Let's get the views of Cyril Farrell and Gerlach Nan right now. It's okay praising Damien Fitzhenry and Darragh Ryan, and rightly so on this, but the reality of the situation for Wexford is they could have been beaten out the gate at this stage.
Well, only for Fitzhenry they would be beaten out the gate. They don't know 10 or 12 points. They're playing woeful. Terrible compared to the last day. They're hesitating, they're waiting for fellas. Everyone's waiting for another fella to do something, yet they're only a point down. Now the breeze is strong enough out there, maybe more strong than we imagine up here. Wexford are still in the game. Offaly will be wondering how come they're not up 9 or 10 points. They will be happy enough in at half time because they've taken the game to Wexford, and if they get one of these goals they'll put them away. But Wexford are in it because of kind of Fitzhenry, really.
Yeah, Wexford need to shake themselves up, but the other side of that story is they'll go in and they'll look at the first half and they say to themselves, Jenny Mac, we're only a point down the way we played. If we play at all, we can win this thing.
That's exactly it, Michael. They haven't even turned up in Croke Park yet. You know, there's a team out there, but that's not the team that was here against Kilkenny a few weeks ago.
Yep.
They're slow to the ball, their touch is very poor, their anticipation is poor, their teamwork is absolutely terrible. And most surprisingly of all, their tactics in the full forward line are crazy. They're about 6 times their full forward line has been cut out about 40 yards from the goal, and the ball has drifted aimlessly into the goalkeeper. Ridiculous, especially when you're playing against the wind. Now, everybody watching, everybody here knows the reason that we still have a game is because of Damien Fitzhenry, but that won't last forever unless Wexford step up their game. Now, the funny thing about it is the very same thing happened in the game last year. They were 8 points down at half-time. They looked dead and buried. They looked as if they were a junior team. They came out in the second half and they beat Offaly. So they need to do something like that to even stay in the game, not talk of beating it.
They certainly will. There's no doubt about that. Okay, time for us to take a break. We're back after that with more chat with Ger and Cyril on this afternoon's Leinster Hurling final. Just a little reminder for you that we have the draw live a little bit later on for the next round of qualifying matches in the All-Ireland Football Championship. Just the result, by the way, of that Derry-Cavan match from today. That went to extra time. Derry winning 25 points to Cavan's 2-9. Cavan didn't score at all in the extra time period. Now, the game that we're concentrating on right now is the Leinster Hurling final. Gerlach Nan, Cyril Farrell with me. Offaly leading by a point, but we were talking about Damien Fitzhenry. I think we have to have a look at some of those saves again, Cyril.
Yeah, he was unbelievable, really. Like, he has 3 or 4 saves. Like, Offaly are bearing down a goal. Brendan Murphy has switched early on with Joe Brady, went out to the top very, very fast. See the first one here now coming through. Like, he's going to, you know, point blank shot. It was a great save. And the thing about this is that when he went out for the 65, here again, another, you see this in reverse now coming in.
Damien Murray of his left-hand side.
That was a great save.
Brilliant save.
Here's
another one coming right through here. Imagine now, this is a kick. Gets to it without, and even the 65s that came up from these, they weren't scored. Now that one was wide, but it was 65 before that. At this stage, Offaly could have been 2 ahead. this kick here, and the first attack of consequence that Wexford get to actually stick the ball in the net, you know. So like it shows how when you get a chance at that, you should be scoring. But great, Fitzhenry.
Well, this is it. I mean, the second part of that movement there, Offaly had the chance to finish it off and just missed it. And we said to ourselves, Wexford now will probably go up and score a goal, and did.
They did. I mean, 4 chances of goals, and they missed the 4. Now take missing 2 even, and you have 2 goals.
Yeah.
You know, but next thing, Wexford gets just 1 chance of a goal, and it's a very poor chance. When the ball comes in now,
by the way.
No, it just shows about Fitzhenry. Not alone he's saved, but he's puck outs. He's playing a lot to this wing here under the Hogan stand. Now, when the ball comes into Rory Jacob, he goes right through. Now, just one time he got past Barry Keane, and when the ball breaks out, it's buried by Paul Carley, who comes in from the wing. Great run from him, but the thing about it was the only time that they pierced the Offaly full back line.
But Gerard, the referee, is very pernickety. He didn't pick up at all there that the Wexford midfielder dropped the hurl, hand passed the ball. Tomas Mann actually dropped his hurl, hand passed that ball into Jake, who went on the run. No one actually saw it, but like.
But I suppose he claimed just tapped out of his hand or something, and he gave the advantage there. You know the way referees go, but it's the look that Wexford badly needs today. You know, if they hadn't got that, they were gone out of the game completely.
They are getting a bit of luck because the penalty came along then. Was this a penalty for you? Were you happy enough with the penalty?
Yeah, well, like you could argue either way. Now Wexford defenders are very upset about it. Here again, you're going to see I
thought it was definitely a penalty.
Or he gets it down here. Gets a bang here on top of the hand. He goes right through here now. Just as he's going to hit it, he gets a flick from behind. Now the tackle that most people give now about. In actual fact, Ryan got him before that on top of the hand.
Ryan's chop on him.
But again, it didn't matter. Here he is again. Fitzhenry saves again. The ball is cleared. Actually goes out for line ball. He's just on song today. He's a great goalkeeper and he's on song. It was very hard to be done by the umpire called in the ref as well for taking the step out over the square. Usually when a goalie does that, he's warned. He gave no warning at all and he gave a 65. Actually 65 went wide. But I thought it was very harsh.
Sure.
But you still at the same time, you wonder how long that can last. It cannot last for 70 minutes, unless Wexford step up our game. They can't expect Fitzhenry to make 4 brilliant saves in the second half again.
Fitzhenry's inside the dressing room saying, could I have a bit of a hand here? And somebody else play a bit of hurling for a while. Okay, we have another break to take right now before the action resumes in the Leinster Hurling final. So stick a guy in the commentary box. We're ready for the second half.
Thank you very much, Michael. We're ready as well, and so are Offaly and Wexford. No changes on either side. Some referee Ger Harrington from Carrigaline, who refereed the Waterford-Clare match this year. This is his second Leinster Championship final, and today's attendance is quite large. 46,820 is the official attendance at the Leinster Hurling final. Second half underway. Wexford, I'm sure, got a bit of a telling off from John Conran, and they'll be hoping for a far, far better performance in the second half. David Franks laying it off. Well pulled on by Gary Hannafy. Picked up by left cornerback David O'Connor. Brian Wheelahan. Gone in centre back, by the way. Niall Claffey is now at right half. Gary Hannafy again, dropping this in. Damien Fitzhenry, the star of the show in the opening 35 minutes. And Wexford get back the form that they showed against Kilkenny, because they certainly need to improve. The faithful county have certainly produced the goods, but no great surprise to this man, I'm sure. John Conran. Adrian Fenlon now going to take this ball right here in front of us in the Hogan stand. Thankfully the rain has disappeared, but dark clouds still remain over the Dublin mountains in the distance. Over towards Rory Jacob. With him, Barry Tehan. Still Jacob. Good defending by Tehan. Not fouling. Sticking tight. Comes across. Back there, helping out his defence, is Barry Wheelahan. To Brother Brian, whose dad, Pacho, is here underneath us in the Hogan stand. And a little bit of argy-bargy between Declan Ruth and Gary Hannafy. 8-free of the day for Wexford. This is his 8th championship campaign. Centre back from Enniscorthy, Declan Ruth. Bit of pressure here. Ger Oakley gets a touch to it. And again, doing a lot of good work this afternoon is Michael Cordial, who's blossomed into quite a good performer at midfield. Malachy Travers from Nevena, who cleared that ball after Damien Fitzhenry saved the semi-penalty. Michael Cordial continues to work hard. Tries to scoop it back to his midfield partner, Barry Wheelahan. Brian Wheelahan comes in. Back to his brother Barry. Intercepted by Tomas Mahan. Mahan swings it back into this side of the field. Colm Cassidy. Good work by Paul Farley and Owen Buckley. Referee has blown his whistle and has given a free in for the foul on Michael Jacob. Mike McNamara, in his second year in charge of Offaly, native of Scariff, and of course part of the great Clare management team that won the All-Irelands in 95 and 97. Barry Lambert will be hoping that Mike McNamara will not be celebrating tonight down in East Clare, as he sends that over the bar for his third point from a free. Level for the fourth time after 3 minutes into the second half. They've been level after 18 minutes, 24.5 minutes and 35 minutes. Brian Mullins' puck out. Swinging it down every single time towards Gary Hannafy, who's taken up that right half forward position again. Good play by David Doc O'Connor. Brian Mullins has to come off his line, and good control by the keeper. Good stick work. Sends it back down again towards Rory Hannafy. Flicking it into the centre to his brother Gary. Tries to send it low. Half blocked by Declan Root. Comes instead to Joe Brady. Tense time for Wexford now. Darragh Ryan managed to scoop it out just a little bit and survive several challenges. Good play by the fullback. Owen Quigley misjudges. Brian Wheelahan rarely does. Sends it back in. Cleared first time by Malachi Travers. Ball won't go over the sideline. Not yet anyway. Good pull by Tomas Mahan. Owen Quigley. Right here in front of us in the Hogan stand, and he sends it over at the canal end. His third point from play in a Leinster final. No wonder Brian Wheelahan has been moved in to centre back.
Yes, that's his third point, and again, from a centre forward perspective, he's found out on the wing here on the right hand side. He's moving, trying to move Brian Wheelahan out of the centre, because within that first half period there, on the last 10 minutes, Brian Whelan was beginning to get on top of the centre. Into the first half there, the second half there, for that 5-minute period, Brian Whelan was clearing an awful lot of ball in the centre. So his plan is to move him out of the centre, get loose possession, and obviously take scores like that.
Michael Cordial, the 22-year-old from Shinrone, played midfield when Offaly won the Leinster Minor Championship 4 years ago. There in the middle of the Hogan stand is Patrick Wheelahan, manager of course at Limerick, and of course guided Burr to all those All-Ireland club titles. Damien Murray, scorer of 3 points from frees. Rory McCarthy does enough to shield the ball, and again it's the Doc O'Connor from St. Anne's that relieves the pressure, but he was fouled. 10th free of the game for Wexford. Well, when you look back at statistical information down in Nolan Park last year in Kilkenny, Wexford only barely survived the challenge of Offaly by a point, if I recall correctly.
Oh yes, I mean Offaly have been the hoodoo team from over the years, and you have to go back a long way for a Wexford success over them, and certainly in the second half period, Marty, again the greasy conditions is making it difficult, and you have to say that for the players. I mean, you see a towel being thrown in at that stage, hurleys are slipping out of players' hands, they're slipping on the ground, and it doesn't make for a very, very good game.
Intercepting John O'Connor. Colm Cassidy discarded the helmet. Turning into the challenge, Barry Wheelahan did very well. Barry Lambert obviously didn't see him coming. Damien Murray, nice stick work, good control. Drops this one in. Darragh Ryan underneath it. The breaking ball is vital. Declan Root anticipated and intercepted easily. Sends it back down between Adrian Finlan and Barry Wheelahan. Wheelahan and Finlan pulling first time as the referee's man. Brian Whelan in a race for possession. Just a lovely little flick. He's such beautiful wrist work, Brian Whelan, but he's injured in the process there, and he seems to be holding his right leg. We continue on with Niall Claffey. Down far is corner forward Brian Carroll. Just on the sideline, far side. Good work by Brendan Murphy. Looking around, dropping it in, and dropping it to the left and wide. It's going to give a little bit of time now for Brian Whelan to get some attention. Left half back on the Millennium team. All-Ireland minor medals in 87 and 89, and 4 All-Stars. Once, you will recall, as a full forward in 1998. This is the instant again. Just seemed to get a nick as he just beat the Wexford player for possession.
Took the tackle there as he actually flicked the ball out to his defender on the wing, and certainly that would be sore.
32-year-old, he'll be 33 in August, but what a fabulous hurler. And what a great player he's been, and a leader for both Offaly and Byrne.
Well, I mean, when you're in a Leinster finals like this, Marty, you need to have inspirational players, and certainly the opportunity is there for Brian to show what he's worth today.
Offaly scoring chances 8 out of 18, Wexford 7 out of 14. Brian Whelan is limping just a little bit, but he's okay. Rory McCarthy. This is Barry Whelan sending it down the middle. O'Connor is doing an awful lot of sweeping up at left corner back. I wouldn't be surprised if Brian Carroll, who's a very, very good hurler, would be moved at least to the other corner. Wexford chasing and harassing a little bit better now. Michael Jacob. And if Wexford can do it, so too can Offaly. Colin Cassidy fouled in his effort to clear. 3 to the faithful. 9th free of the game for Offaly. Wexford introduce their star forward, Paul Codd, who's coming on for Barry Lambert. And Paul Codd will add, no doubt, great impetus to that half-forward line. Jim Troy, former Offaly goalkeeper there, one of the selectors there with Mike McNamara. As Offaly think about changing the substitution. Neville Coughlin is going to be coming on. And it looks like Brian Whelan is the player. And that's a huge, huge loss to Offaly. Brian Whelan unable, obviously, to continue. And Neville Coughlin, and a warm round of applause for one of the greats of hurling. Brian Whelan goes to the substitute bench as Neville Coughlin, fabulous footballer this guy, he's a grateful forward on the Offaly football team, now takes his position in the Offaly hurling half-back line. Here's Paul Codd, with a point to prove, knowing Paul, he'd be anxious to impress John Conran, and indeed the people of Wexford. Hard pull, still along the sideline, Colin Cassidy, hits it onto his left. Oh, great catch. That's wonderful play. And Wexford just seemed to be going a little bit better. Motoring a little bit better was what the phrase I was looking for.
Particularly in the full back line. Anything that's come in there in the start of the second half, they've cleaned up. And Malcolm Travers, Darragh Ryan, Dave O'Connor, they've been very, very strong, particularly under high ball as well.
Michael Cordial seems to be in trouble again, Tomas. So too Malachy Travers after that fabulous catch. And Michael, this is his 3rd time in the wars in this game. And if he had to leave and it coincided with Brian Whelan's departure, Tomas, that would be a huge blow to Offaly.
Yeah, he's been a shining light there this afternoon for Offaly. Played very, very well in the first half period.
Fabulous catch by Malachy Travers.
Absolutely, yeah.
Really, really good.
No doubt about the free.
Michael Cordial, though, has a great heart, great determination. I know he's very focused, so no matter what's happening, he's going to be in. Wexford on the attack. Brian Mullins. Barry Tehan just getting a touch to it. Back there is Ger Oakley, who's adapted very well to the full-back role in this second championship season, wearing number 3. That's the 5th wide of the game for Wexford. Brian Mullins is puck out. Straight down the middle. Paul Codd gets a hurling to it. Added to by Mitch Jordan. David Franks is there. Comes back out to Codd. Under a little bit of pressure. Goes for the point. And scores! Rathmuir's Paul Codd. He scored 2 goals and 31 points in 5 championship matches in 2003. Has a point to prove to John Conran. He's very, very determined. And this is a point to prove.
Yeah,
great score.
Very positive substitution, and that's probably the difference between the teams at the moment, Marty. We've gone 13 minutes into the second half almost at this stage, and Offaly have yet to register a point in that second half period. And with all the opportunities they have it in the first half, you just ask the question, where are those scores going to come from to win this match?
Well, certainly it could be a question of a depth of talent. I saw it yesterday in Ennis when Billy Morgan introduced some quality players as substitutes against Clare in the qualifier, and it certainly paid off, and it could well be here a factor.
It could be a factor, no doubt about it, and the Wexford backs seemingly are beginning to dominate, and that means that there will be plenty of supply going up the lines, up into the Wexford forward line, who seem to have the better scoring threat at this stage.
Well gathered by Malachy Travers. The gory man sends it down. Pulled on by Michael Cordia. Adrian Fenlon, who's his direct opponent. Kicking it forward. Intercepted, however, by David Franks, who's having a very, very good outing at left corner back for Offaly. Sideline ball. Favours Wexford. John Conlon encouraging, urging a little bit more. Rain coming down here at Croke Park yet again, making conditions very difficult for these hurlers. Adrian Fenlon. Sideline cut, not a great one. It comes to Paul Codd. Colin Cassidy comes into challenge. So too Neville Coughlin. Good vision. Spreads it over for Mossy Mahan over the far side in his second championship season. Dropping this one in. Brian Mullins had to watch it all the way. Good goalkeeping. Sends it back down again. Here come Offaly. Great run by Brendan Murphy rather. And there was a chop down. And a chance here for Offaly. The 10th free of the day for Offaly. Great run though by Brendan Murphy.
Great run, but the Wexford crowd around us, Marty, are up on their feet here. They don't think there was a free, that the actual defender actually played the ball, and it'd be interesting to see that again if that was the case.
Well, here's Damien Murray. He's scored 3 points so far. You'll remember him down in Wexford. He scored a great goal after being introduced as a substitute in the National Hurling League match last March. Going for his 4th point from a free. The umpires will signal the white flag. Nine points for Offaly, 1-7 for Wexford. Paul Codd underneath it. Michael Cordia resisted the temptation of picking the ball off the ground, but it wasn't his thoughts. Ball dropped in. Nicely picked up by Paul Carley. It's a chance here. Oh, what a goal! Fantastic goal by Paul Carley. Remember, he was the sub-goalkeeper last year. Now he's first choice at left half forward, and this is the reason why. Getting inside, Barry Whelan, he hit it with power. Mullins had come off his line, but Carley knew how to beat a goalkeeper since he was once a goalkeeper himself. Brilliant.
And the key in that, Marty, was to shorten the grip in front of the goal. He had a defender on his back. He was going to be hooked and put the ball across the keeper to the far side.
This is going to test the character of Offaly. And every time they've been tested over the years, they have certainly responded. This is a big one. They're without their leader, Brian Whelan. Here's Adrian Fenlon. Off balance, but shooting perfectly. He did it in the semi-final from a sideline cut. He's done it from play in the Leinster final against Offaly. In the space of a minute, in the 51st minute, this game has changed around dramatically. Fenlon's shot from the reverse angle perspective, just barely making it over Brian Mullins' crossbar. Fenlon, indicating perhaps he should have been on the Wexford football team. Brilliant fielding. Colm Cassidy sending it back down in towards the corner. Malachy Travers got a touch. Declan Root cutting inside is Damien Murray. Can Offaly respond here? 4 Offaly Wexford players around him. Comes back outside, pulled on. Oh, and Fitzhenry has been beaten. It took 52.5 minutes of play. It looked as if Wexford had the situation under control. But remember the character of Offaly. Remember, these are the faithful boys. They do not give up. And Hannafy finally beat one of the best goalkeepers in Ireland, Damien Fitzhenry. Game on. Leinster final on. Into the corners. David Franks again, very controlled, very impressive. The Ballyshkinnock man at left corner back. Let's go down to the sideline now for some updates from Jim Carney.
While Offaly may have just got a boost, we can confirm that Brian Whelan will take no more part in this game. He will not be coming back because the team doctor, PG McAuliffe, has revealed to us that he tore his hamstring. There was concern about Michael Cordial as well, a head injury. They've given him the all clear to keep going.
Thanks very much, Jim, and certainly a huge blow to Offaly, but they have responded to that Paul Carley goal. And this game has certainly been revitalised by that, energised. Here's a chance, 2 against 2. The pass inside from Rory Jacob didn't quite work out, and it's gone out for a 65. The first 65 for Wexford.
Great defended by Barry Tean there, because Jacob seemed to be inside and watched as he lifts possession. The hurley comes in and flicks the ball away. Great defending.
Definitely a 65. Free by Paul Carley is sent to the left and wide. 6th wide for Wexford. Again, Brian Mullins aims for the Hannafys. Every single puck out is aimed at the 2 Hannafys. Here is Brendan Murphy. 3 Wexford players around him. Doc O'Connor is there. Just like David Franks at number 4 for Offaly, Doc O'Connor playing very well in the opposite corner. Franks again passes the test admirably. Just a little hook there as Wexford chase and pursue. Number 7 is Colm Cassidy. Referee blows the whistle, going to be a throw ball. Definitely David Franks, I feel, has the potential to be the next Martin Hannamy.
Absolutely, having a blinder there in the second half period.
Michael Cordial, good play, very good play by Malachy Travers. Batting it down to Rory McCarthy. Gary Hannafy deemed to have been fouling Rory. And it's going to be a free for Wexford.
The referee certainly is very fussy, Marty. And I mean, at this stage in the game in hurling, you expect hard tackles to go in, and any little push or any little nudge, and he's given the freeze for it at this stage.
Declan Root dropping this one in. 2 against 2 again. Ger Oakley. Certainly, I have to say, full marks to Ger Oakley. He's adapted to being a full back impressively. Normally we saw him around the middle of the pitch. Niall Claffey survives the hefty challenge. Declan Root again, trying to block up that middle passageway down the middle. Adrian Fenlon under pressure, great pressure by Offaly. Gary Hannafy tries to open it up. Malachy Travers won't come up the first, second or third time. It's there for Dara Ryan. Flicks it across. Offaly, great harassment, great pressure. Without a hurling, Dara Ryan hitting Michael Cordial fairly and squarely with a shoulder. Wexford introducing a substitute. It's Chris McGrath. Chris Hopper McGrath is coming on from Mitch Jordan. And the praise that we were lavishing on David Franks is reflected by the fact that that change has now occurred.
Absolutely, and Chris McGrath's a lively player as well, so he's got to be on his guard for the next 10-15 minutes as well.
Declan Root fouled by Gary Hannafy. Free out to Wexford. 13th free for Wexford. 2 points between the teams. Well, it took 52 minutes to beat this man. And no matter what happens, I think the Leinster final of 2004, we'll talk about the goalkeeping performance in the first half by Damien Fitzhenry. Here's a chance for Wexford. Twisting and turning as he judged it right on Quigley. Not quite. 7 wides for Wexford. 13 minutes left. 12, in fact, as the clock changes to that full time of around 70 minutes. This time Declan Root bats it down ahead of Gary Hannafy. Mossy Mahan gets it forward. Back there is Rory Hannafy. Beautifully balanced hurler, Rory Hannafy, just the way he judged it. And he was sending it over specifically. He was in danger of being hooked, but just did it so well. This is going to be a free for Offaly. On the Wexford 45. Damien Murray gone across to take it. Well, he's been very much in scoring form. 4 today so far, 8 against Dublin, 10 against Laois. This to reduce Wexford's lead to just 1 point. And the umpire signal it's wide of the target. 10 wides for Offaly. Michael Cordy. Trying catch. Looks around. Darragh Ryan just seemed to be falling, but somehow maintained his balance. Joe Brady backing with him. Ball cuts inside. Doc O'Connor has to come across from left corner back. Good play. And relieves the pressure on the Slaney-siders. Batting it down, Colin Cassidy again to Michael Cordial, who continues to work so hard for Offaly, both at midfield where he's selected, but also around the half-back line.
Yeah, he's picking up an awful lot of the breaking ball, and obviously showing his excellent hurling ability as well, getting the ball away, moving it up the wings very, very quick.
Kilcormac Killahy represented here by Colin Cassidy. And one is also swinging to the right, dropping right in. Damien Fitzhenry watched it all the way. That's a good clearance. Down towards Paul Cobb. Sending it in quickly. Rory Jacob available to his right if he needs him as Mossy Mahan. Back towards Paul Carley, the goal scorer. Brian Mullins judging it, watching it all the way. Sends it back out around the middle of the pitch. Breakdown is picked up by Niall Claffey, who sends it out over the sideline, but it was blocked on its way. Went off a Wexford player. Wexford players are protesting, but the linesman indicates quite clearly over the far side that it is in fact an Offaly ball. Barry Wheelahan to take this. Sends it into the middle. Rory McCarthy. Referee saw it. There's a push. And this is going to be a free out for Wexford. This is the incident again as Niall Claffey delivered it up towards the sideline. Went off the Wexford player. Not my doubts, actually, I have to say.
I must have my doubts as well. I thought it was a Wexford ball there, Mark.
I did too now when I see the replay. Substitution on for Offaly. Stephen Brown is on, and Brian Carroll is the player that makes way. Stephen Brown is highly thought of in not alone in Burr, but indeed in Offaly, rated as a player of great potential. Here comes Michael Jacob, and the ball is sent wide again. 8 wides now for Wexford. Barry Murphy is warming up along the sideline for Wexford, thinking about a change. John Conran, dangerous ball. Damien Fitzhenry has to come off his line. The direct route right between the two Offaly men, and drives it back down into the Offaly half of the field. Batted down, picked up by Paul Codd, sent inside. There's a chance here for Chris McGrath, the hopper. Just took his eye off it, and Offaly have it again. And again it's David Franks. Mr. Consistency at left corner back. Rory McCarthy. Pass is rather poor. Comes in for his own Quigley. Needs a little bit of assistance. The pass worked out fine. This is a combination between Rory Jacob and Tomas Mahan. It's a poor effort though by Mahan. Brian Mullins has left it behind him, and he's under pressure here. Ball is released and it comes out again to David Franks. The goalkeeper is protesting to the referee, for the referee was not giving a free. Fabulous catch by Hannafy, Gary Hannafy, and this is going to be a free for Offaly. Watching this match is the former Wexford great, Liam Dunn. A little bit worried, I'm sure. And certainly great work by Liam Dunn and great heart. He rang every Wexford player over the last couple of days to wish them the best of luck. Yellow card for Declan Root. Seven for Offaly is Colm Cassidy. Hasn't quite reached the target in any of these frees. Hoping for better luck this time. It looks a lot better. The umpire goes for his flag. Colm Cassidy gets on the scoreboard. 1 point between the teams. 64 minutes played in this Leinster final. Dare I say it, are we heading for a draw?
Well, it's all to play for now, Marty. And I suppose one interesting fact is that Offaly have failed to score from play point-wise in that second half period. They've got the goal and they've got a few points from frees, and that could turn out to be a big difference for them at the end.
Declan Root under a little bit of pressure, flicks it for his Malachy Travers. Available underneath the Hogan stand is Paul Carling. Getting it in for his Rory Jacob. Tomas Mahan is available. Jacob turns, the umpire's look, and the white flag is raised. It's back to a 2-point advantage for Wexford. Rory Jacob's first point of this Leinster final. This is the reverse angle. Good look from the Cusick stand side. Rory Jacob making room here and swinging this over the bar. Owen Quigley from way out the field hits it to the left and wide.
Substitution on the Offaly
9 wides for Wexford.
Joe Brady has been replaced by number 22.
Offaly are introducing Dylan Hayden, and the player that's coming off is Joe Brady. Interesting change by Mike McNamara there.
Yes, I mean, it's last resort at this stage, Marty, with over 4 minutes left to go, and a 2-point advantage can be worse than a 1 point. I mean, if Offaly get a goal, you mightn't have the chance to recover, and we've seen in the past what Offaly can do.
Here's a chance for Offaly. Wonderful score. Barry Wheelahan reduces Wexford's lead down to the minimum. Who has written the script here? Who has the answer? Offaly. Can they do a Wexford on it and get a last-minute score? Owen Quigley dropping this in, sending it in. Well gathered, twisting, turning, and responding, and the ball has gone over the bar. Rory Jacob gets his second point in the space of about 3 minutes. And it's back again to a 2-point advantage for the Slaney-siders. Jacob in front of his man here, doing well, getting ahead of Barry Tehan.
Yeah, great credit to Owen Quigley again. Very, very dominant under the puck out there. When he lost his hurling, had the presence of mind to get it into the full forward line.
Great block down by Declan Root from Gary Hannafy. Hannafy dropping this in. Damien Fitzhenry calls clearly for it. He's under pressure. Referee now finally gives him a free. Free out for the Wexford number 1. Less than 3 minutes for John Conran. Tense, anxious moments in Croke Park. And Damien Fitzhenry will be in no rush. remember him in Offaly as well, of course. 96 Leinster final, he scored a fabulous goal. That's right, the goalkeeper, Damien Fitzhenry. Here's Paul Carley, chasing after Neville Coughlin. Carley trying to sneak the ball through. Niall Caffey is there for Offaly, getting away from 1-2 challenges. Nice stick work. Ball glued to the hurling, trying to run through, goes nowhere. Intercepted by Declan Root, sends it back down quickly, cleared away by David Franks to Owen Quigley. Didn't even put the ball into his hand, but it's an easy one for Brian Mullins. Back down into the Wexford half of the field. Remember, 2 points between the teams. Declan Root, wonderful catch, didn't quite connect on landing. Sent back again to Root, pulls in it. Colin Cassidy, available this side if he wants him, is Michael Cordia. Cassidy goes for the #1 route to goal, dropping this in towards Damien Fitzhenry. No mistake by the Duffy Rovers man. Uses his left corner back. David O'Connor from St. Anne's. Back down the middle, breaking ball. Owen Quigley can't get there the first time. Tussling with Michael Cordia. Pulled up and sent over the sideline line ball to Offaly.
But it's absolute suicide, Marty. Twice we saw it there, occasions there, when the ball is actually hitting, nobody around the square to actually pick up possession. All the full forward line are playing way out the field and the balls are dropping into goalkeeper's hands.
Very anxious moments for the supporters of both counties. Coming up to the 69th minute of the second half. Goes off an Offaly man, line ball for Wexford. Two extra minutes going to be played. Is there time for Offaly?
Well, they'll have to get a goal outfield at this stage, Marty, and the way Damien Fitzhenry is playing at the moment, there's going to have to be a very, very good shot to beat him.
Ball goes down for us, Michael Cordia, who again is helping out his defence. Good play by the Shinrone man. Paul Carley here with Barry Wheelahan and Neville Coughlin. Picked up by Rory McCarthy, who dances his way past several Offaly defenders to Paul Codd. Wonderful score by the substitute with his second point since being introduced. Is that the winner for Wexford?
Well, you would feel, I mean, it was a great substitution when Wexford were struggling at periods there for scores. Introduced Paul Codd and he got 2 fabulous points.
Well, no doubt about it now. Offaly have to get a goal to draw level. Brian Mullins with the puck out. We're into injury time now here in Croke Park. Ball aimed again at Gary Hannafy. Comes back as Tomas Mahan. Nice stick work. 2 Offaly players chasing after him. Lays it back. Farris's captain John O'Connor doesn't gain any ground. And working very hard is Michael Jacob out around the middle of the pitch, sending across field. Colin Cassidy waits and gathers. Foul between Rory Jacob and Chris McGrath. Coming up to the 71st minute.
Expect this one to drop right into the square.
Has to be a goal now. Dropping it in. Picked up Declan Ruth almost. Pulled on. Blocked. Doc O'Connor there. Soundness personified at left corner back all through the day. Offaly need possession here. Wexford, who've struggled but have been able to get the vital goals at crucial times. Down towards the hopper with David McGrath. Chris McGrath being fouled by David Franks. And Hopper knows that that was a vital battle because this man has really played so well at left corner back.
Absolutely, and whatever was said, Marty, to Wexford in a half-time, they came out a different team in the second half, and there's no substitution for hard work. They worked much harder all over the field. Backs got on top, and the forwards used the possession when they got it, and that is the difference at the end of the day. I mean, Offaly will be kicking themselves on the chances that they had. They could have been further ahead at half-time, and they did not take those chances from open play and from frees, and that is the difference between the teams.
This ball being dropped in and sent over the bar. They now have breathing space. The full-time whistle has been blown and Wexford are the Leinster Hurling champions. Their first Leinster title since 1997. There were fears and apprehensions down in Wexford around New Ross and Enniscorthy that having beaten the Leinster and All-Ireland champions Kilkenny, that Offaly would come here and take the Bob O'Keefe Cup home. They were very apprehensive about their performance.
Absolutely, and you've got to give them credit. I mean, they had a shaky first half period, but they've rode the storm, and give credit to Offaly with difficult conditions, as we said. But this man Fitzhenry, he is some goalkeeper, and he showed today what a tremendous talent he's been over the last number of years. And he is the reason, Marty, that Wexford have won this match today.
Well, Offaly should have scored at least 4 goals, even as Gerlach Nan said at half-time, should have done at least 2 goals, and that would have been Offaly well on their way to the Leinster title. But Damien Fitzhenry really produced a scintillating performance of goalkeeping in the first half, and it took a fabulous shot by Gary Hennepy to finally beat them after 51 minutes. But what it matters is that Wexford are back in the big time. They are the Leinster champions on a scoreline of Wexford 2-12, Offaly 1-11. Let's go down to the sideline for some post-match reaction from Jim Carney.
And all the work is paid off. For us to win this, it's a great achievement. That team, I can't say enough good about them. They showed such depth of character today. After a poor first half, to come back and hurl out their skin in the second half. Fantastic game.
John, it was hard there, and perhaps that'll make it all this sweeter. Offaly really put it up to you.
Yeah, well, we always knew. Offaly, we always knew Offaly was going to put it up to us, and I feel sorry for them because they're much like ourselves. They're a team that's trying to get to us. This is a fantastic win for us.
Well done to you, John.
It was a great team performance.
Yeah, well done to you and the hurling people of Wexford.
Thanks very much, Jim.
For Wexford, the O'Keefe Cup will be going down towards Enniscorthy, down towards New Ross and Bunclody. They certainly will celebrate tonight, and rightly so. They'll be dancing at the crossroads for all week long. I think, Tomas, that's where we should head for the next couple of days, because it's party time down in Wexford. Let's go back to some strawberries and cream being served now by Michael Lester.
Thank you very much, Marty Morrissey. As far from strawberries and cream we have here in the presentation area in RT any day, I can tell you. But a fantastic win, obviously, by Wexford. Gerlach Nan and Cyril Farrell with me here in the studio. I don't know if you have any strawberries and cream, lads. If you did, you didn't share any of them with me.
I think we need them because our voice is nearly gone from shouting for all the different fantastic incidents that were in the second half.
I thought you were going to say shouting for Wexford there for a second.
No, but it was all the brilliant incidents.
Don't mind him, you were shouting for Offaly, I was shouting for Wexford. Let him admit it. They'll have to build a monument to Damien Fitzhenry. That's like... held them in the game when everything was gone, and then the forwards came good. They were bound to come into it in the second half, sure, Michael. That's such a poor first half. And fair dues they did. Full back line, or okay, Ryan was good all through, but Doc O'Connor, these guys really came good. Ruth came good. And up front, the Jacob Slam, they all started kind of moving and getting great scores. Offaly will be kicking themselves, won't they?
What really happened today, though, was Offaly's Wexford's character was tested. You know, if you were going to make a breakthrough, a major breakthrough, there'd be one game when your character is really tested. And today that test was at half-time for Wexford. And how they stepped up to the plate in the second half. The full back line, Malachy Travers, Darragh Ryan and David O'Connor, Doc O'Connor, were absolutely fantastic. As was Declan Root at centre-back and Rory McCarthy at wing-back. It was they who laid the foundations for Wexford's massive comeback in the second half. But you have to give great credit to Offaly. Their 2 cornerbacks, Barry Tehan and David Franks, we were saying they were tired from clearing the ball. They were absolutely fantastic. They confined the Wexford forwards better than any other defence could, but still it wasn't good enough in the end. Wexford's will to win, their determination to win this Leinster title, carried them on to get the Bob O'Keefe Cup today. And I think in the end they just about shaded it. But what a contest.
They did just about shade. It was a very close game. It was hard to call beforehand. It was in the balance all the way through. Just noticed, by the way, you're wearing a purple shirt today, Cyril Farrell, so maybe you knew something about this game.
No, not really. No. It just happened that way. No, don't try to get me into the war.
Don't get some great connections with Wexford around that.
Don't let me into trouble.
That's right.
But it was a great game of hurling, and as Gerard said, like, Offaly have to get great credit as well. But like, Wexford character was tested, but you never have to doubt Wexford's character as such. They've often come back from the dead. Today they were the favourites, and they needed to put a second game together, because everyone, great game against Kilkenny. Today was a different type of game altogether, as we're saying before, and very low score early on. It opened up in the second half. They deserve to win, and they'll be very happy.
And look at John O'Connor there.
They'll be very happy. Let's sorry, Gerard, to cut across it for a moment, because Nicky Brennan is about to make the presentation of the Bob O'Keefe Cup.
Harrington, Augustine Nicolay to be a Carlet.
Falchco Park and Crocky and Tron on a shot. The Oakland on here on Taoiseach. Ambassadors start into her. August along the Naila. Tafalch Road. Marshin is Nolan and Noel Dumpster. And Corn of Runner, Captain Lochorman, Sean O'Crour.
First of all, though, before we go back, I'd like to thank everyone that was involved with the team. Alright, just before lads, just squeeze there in the crowd, just move back a bit, you're squashing a few children, just for safety reasons or something. But just give the children a chance there if you can, lads. Right. But first of all, lads, I'd like to thank the medical team there that was with us all year. It was Fran Fitzhenry, Aidan O'Connor, Dr. Stephen Bowe and Dr. Byrne was with us for the matches. Lads, with very, very big help there, kept us all in good order for all the matches. I'd like to thank then our training team, Jim Keelty on the physical fitness, Mick Kinston on all the skills with us during the year, and Father Rowan Furlong who got our heads right for the game as well. He's a big help. Just give him a big clap there, lads, please. Thanks. Be alright. Then lads gave out help for the whole year there. Mick Brennan, Jim Blackburn, Pat Murphy and John O'Leary just made training possible. Then lads, just a lot of fellas here got criticism, the whole team, but especially management team got unfair criticism, but it just goes to show today that you're all behind them. I'd like to thank them very much. Helped us a lot during the year. Martin Quigley, Dickie Murphy and our manager John Conran. I'd also like to thank our sponsors, Wexford Creamery, the Supporters Club and the County Board for helping us out during the year. It was a big help, thanks lads. But before I'd like to go, I'd just like to extend my commiserations with the Offaly team. It was a great sporting game and I hope all their injuries will recover before next Saturday when they face Clare. Best of luck lads. Just from the crowd there, I'd like to give them 3 cheers. 3 cheers for Offaly. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. Right. Last of all, I'd like to thank the supporters. We'll see you out there, see you at home now in a few hours, so thanks very much. It's for a big help.
Yeah, well, not a nervous man under a high ball and not a nervous man in front of a microphone either. John O'Connor, proud day for him, proud day for the Rathmuir club and for all of Wexford indeed, and Rathmuir have played their part in this championship victory for Wexford. Great celebrations, great balls about the whole thing.
Yeah, and he said there to his supporters, like, I suppose Wexford had the biggest following and Waterford. To me, they followed the whole time. 46,000, 7,000 there, and I suppose Gerrard's was 35,000 from Wexford. Like, the whole coming up this morning, went out that way, like, it was unreal. They deserve that win for their supporters alone, and like for John Conran, like, he had a tough year. It's been a long year. It's come out on top now. But when you win, everything is rosy. If they lost the last day against Kilkenny, maybe everyone will tell him what he should have done. And today his strength was in depth because you could bring on Paul Codd and Chris McGrath. Like, Codd has been kind of the forgotten man in the sense, in and out of training. If he gets into shape, he'll be fighting for position. Probably won't make the first 15 just as well. The young Chris McGrath, Hopper's son, he's a very good player as well. They had to touch us when they come on, so they're actually getting stronger. They've used 17 or 18 now, and they will go from strength to strength.
They will, yes, because I mean, apart from winning this Leinster Championship title today, which is done, they're also into the All-Ireland semi.